Are you trying to paint looser? Are you tired of your paintings turning into tight, muddy messes? Loose painting doesn't come from details or perfection. It comes from letting go and painting joyfully. In this lesson, we'll practice making bolder marks, simplifying shapes, and responding to color and light instead of chasing petals and leaves. You'll also see me rework a major section when it gets too heavy, because painting loose means being able to feel when you start to tighten up. So today we're not trying to paint perfectly, we're practicing how to paint looser. Now let's head over to the easel and get dusty. Painting flowers intimidates me, so one way I help myself loosen up is by putting in the background first. So this lets me just make marks, and I'm only really paying attention to value here. This is a really good warm-up for my brain and my fingers, and it gets me in the flow of painting loosely. Now for this particular painting, the light is coming from the left, so I'm keeping the darker values on the right and the lighter values on the left. And even my blending here is loose. I'm not trying to create smooth blends, but instead I want to leave like slightly disjointed, out of focus moments in the background just to help it seem more interesting and more spontaneous. All right, now I'm just blocking in the vase and just using kind of a pale grayish green to represent the glass. And then to indicate that it's clear, now I'm adding in some of those background colors so you can see them. Now I'm going to slow the video down here so you can see the stems that I'm putting in. So I am actually using the long corner of that pastel. I just point to right there. And I'm just creating kind of my edge and then flicking the pastel to the side. And that's helping me to create a really loose stem that feels round. And then I'm going to come in with a few other greens and just go over those same marks just to bring a little color variety and a little bit of depth and this feeling of shadow and light hitting them even inside the glass. And then I'm going to bring in some of the background colors again and just loosely dab those in between the stems just to kind of promote that illusion that the vase is clear. And before we get to the flowers, let me tell you a little bit about the Pastel Growth Studio. Of course, I go much deeper into all the techniques I use in this lesson inside my Pastel Growth Studio on Patreon. My members not only get full lessons, but also full product evaluations, step-by-step how-tos for your most pressing pastel questions, fun monthly challenges, and behind-the-scenes looks. I would love to welcome you to the family. I'm offering a 7-day free trial, and it's only $5 a month after that. I'll put the link in the description. So I'm going to start out making just some really loose marks here with the 3 different colors that are the main colors for the flowers. So the red, the blue, and the white. And just very loosely, just putting those in kind of where I see them in the photo, but also where it feels good to me. And then you can see now I'm bringing in some really dark tones for the background and also that upper left corner, because now that I've put the flowers in, I can kind of see where I needed more background. So now I'm just working on kind of marrying the new background I'm adding to the one that was originally there. All right, so now with this darker, more vibrant red, I'm continuing to really focus on keeping my marks very loose, The whole time I'm painting, I'm thinking, I'm just putting marks down. I'm not thinking, I'm painting petals, I'm painting leaves. I'm just putting down marks. But these marks are a little different than the ones I put down earlier for the flowers. If you watch real closely, you can see they're much more deliberate in the direction that I'm going. So I'm using the side of my pastel to create a little bit of an edge before I'm flicking it, usually inward. Where the first set of marks I put down, I was kind of making my directions outward away from the flower. These marks I'm making more inward to create a little bit of an edge on the petal. And now I'm bringing in just a slightly different shade of red. And then you'll see I also start to bring in some lights and darks. And as I'm making these marks, I just keep thinking about where is the light hitting, where am I going to put the lightest marks and the darkest marks. But again, thinking in terms of marks. So as you watch the next minute or two here, you can just see as these marks are going in, it's starting to build out the volume in these flowers and this feeling that they're 3D. But still, I haven't really drawn or painted an actual petal. These are just very loose kind of swipes and flicks that I'm making. And then, of course, I'm following the same concept with the blue flowers. So bringing in a little bit of a darker blue and then a lighter blue. And I'm keeping more of the lighter tones on the left side and then using my darker colors on the right side, and especially on the right side of the bouquet itself, because that clump of blue flowers is more in shadow than the ones on the right side. And of course, I go into all of this in much more detail in the full video, which is only available on Patreon to my paid members. So if you want to see more closely how this is done, go ahead over there and check out a membership. And now, time for the little white sprigs that are in there. I don't know if this, I don't think it's baby's breath. It might be, but I'm just very, very loosely just kind of dotting those in and still following that same idea, brighter on the left, darker on the right, and just letting them kind of fall. As you can see, I'm taking some liberties now with, with where I'm putting them because I'm trying to get a little more balance in the bouquet. All right, so let's talk about something that is kind of painful as an artist, and that is when you have done a ton of work and your painting is kind of maybe 3/4 done and you decide you don't like something. And that is exactly what happened here. I put in that shadow. I did not like the flower. It was too big. So I decided to remove the flower. But then as I'm looking at it, I realized the entire shadow is just too dark and, it's just taking everything over. So I just grabbed a stiff bristle brush and I am just removing all of the shadow and I'm going to have to redo it. But that's one of the awesome things about pastel is it's super easy to remove anything that you've put on there. And that's kind of a drawback sometimes too, because it makes them more delicate to handle. But you can remove what you've done and redo it. So don't be afraid to do that. I know it can feel really frustrating. You can feel like you've failed or, that you don't know what you're doing. I get those feelings too. So if you have to take something off your painting and do it again, it's okay. It really is okay. And you'll see as I work on this now how beautiful that shadow ends up being compared to the one I had down there. I don't regret it at all. I'm so glad I did it. So yeah, if you have to go through this, don't worry about it. Just kind of embrace it as a learning moment. All right, so I am back to the shadow now, and I'm working on, again, just keeping it loose. That's really where I went wrong with it, is I just turned it into this giant mass of darkness. So I am using mixtures of colors instead of just one dark color. I'm using several different darks in there, bringing in some of the dark brown, some of the green from the vase where the light is shining through it, and just creating a little bit more of a mottled look to that shadow instead of just a giant black mass on the side. And I'm even going to bring in some lighter colors here in a minute. If you look at the photo, you can see the shadow is not just solid. It's got lighter areas to it. It has little white spots where the light is shining through the bouquet. So I will bring that in a second. Right there, I'm working on creating just a little bit of a horizontal feeling for the table that the vase is sitting on, because it was kind of feeling like it was just floating in the air. So just getting some horizontal marks down. And now you can see I'm putting in just some of those lighter marks and using my favorite little foam blender to soften those up, and just really, again, just loose. Just keep thinking about how can I make this painting feel loose and feel alive and not get tight. And when I'm working on details, I really struggle with that. I definitely lean towards getting tighter. So now I'm just adding some pops of green into this, and I will finish putting all of the little finishing touches on, work on the glass, get a little bit more shadow work done, and I will let you watch the rest of this. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are not a subscriber, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And if you like or comment on this video, you'll definitely help the algorithm so other people can find me. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care.